Hey guys, it's Sheev the Wise, and this is Vader's Lair.
Join me. Together we can rule the galaxy.
I am the Senate.
Today we're going to be doing a preview of episode 12 of The Bad Batch. Now we already know the titles that are coming out for the rest of this month, and the title of the 12th episode is actually Rescue on Ryloth. Now a lot of us weren't predicting that we would see Ryloth until this episode, but we got it last episode and there were a lot of cool things that we saw, and it makes sense as now we know why they're rescuing someone on Ryloth. So as for the title though, I think it could mean a couple of things, as a lot of the episodes in the season so far have actually had multiple meanings to them. The first of which could be the fact that the Bad Batch will likely be commissioned by Sid to go rescue Cham and Gobi, and even Cham's wife Elena. Cham and Gobi are important figures in Ryloth, as many of the people actually prefer Cham Syndulla over the Senator Orn Free Taa. Also, for the record, I do think Orn Free Taa is alive, but I do think he's kind of dumb, as the reason that Ryloth didn't have any weapons or military is because he wanted to disband them, along with Cham. I actually fear that Elena might not make it past this episode. It is possible that Elena is captured and not killed, but I think that even if she does end up getting captured and they aren't able to, rescue her, I think it's possible that she'll probably stay in an Imperial prison if they're not able to rescue her. Another possibility is that Crosshair could end up killing Elena, which would actually cause a deeper connection between Hera and Kanan, as Kanan was actually nearly killed by Crosshair in the first episode of the season. Also, in the last episode, I noticed that we actually saw the Y-Wing that Chopper came down in the Clone Wars, and that's how he actually met Hera. We also see it back in Rebels, where Chopper kind of takes a moment to look at it. So it's cool to see the tie between that and how Cham actually left that up as a reminder of what the Clone Wars did to them. Similarly to the Y-Wing, I think it's possible that we could end up seeing the Kalikori that Elena passes down to Hera. It's possible we could see Cham with the Kalikori if his wife ended up passing away in this episode, as he may want to give it to Hera and not have the opportunity to. Now, as for Hera, I think she may actually end up being rescued in this episode as well, hence the multiple meanings that this title could have. Hera may end up going with the Bad Batch, as we've already seen them trying to help Kanan and helping Omega, and now they could potentially even help Hera. I think it would make a lot of sense, as Hera was very intrigued in the Marauder. It's possible if she goes with them, she could end up learning how to fly the Marauder and achieving the dream she always has had of living on, wait for it, a starship. I think her going with the Bad Batch could even lead to her meeting Kanan. I actually think if they ended up meeting in this show, that it would contradict a Rebels book called A New Dawn, and I think that's actually canon-wise the first time that they have met. But that could change in this episode, and frankly, I wouldn't put it past Dave to do that, and I wouldn't honestly be that upset if he did. Another possible meaning to the title could be that the Bad Batch end up saving Hauser and maybe even Crosshair. Now, Crosshair might be a little bit of a reach, but I think with 4 episodes left after this one, it's very possible he ends up rejoining the team. If somehow he got damage to his chip in the accident that he had, it's possible that he could end up already being more himself and just kind of faking it and just to working for the Empire. We could see Crosshair rejoining the team and Omega keeping that promise to Hunter that they will get him back. I also think it would be really interesting to see how the Bad Batch would go about potentially rescuing Cham and Gobi, or even saving Hauser and Crosshair. If it's even the Bad Batch that ends up going to rescue them. It's also possible that knowing they'll go to fight the Empire and Crosshair, that they could call Rex for backup. Now I kind of doubt that Rex will show up, but like I said, with 5 episodes left, anything could happen, and I wouldn't put it past Dave to put Rex in the episode. I also think if Hauser and Crosshair do end up getting saved by the Bad Batch, it could cause Rampart to put Project Warmantle into full effect. This could end up having the clones being taken out of the army, and eventually even eradicated, and potentially the Kaminoans as well. In fact, the episode after this is titled Infested, and it could be the case that Infested could refer to the infestation of stormtroopers into the clone army. And then the episode after that is titled Warmantle, and it's possible we could see a 2-episode arc following this 2-episode arc. I do think at some point we will see Cad Bane and Fennec Shand again, and while I don't know when, it's possible they could show up at any point during the end of the season. And maybe we could even still see Boba Fett in this season or the next. In fact, maybe the season will even end with Boba, Hera, Omega, and Kanan all joining up together. That's just Sheev fanboy dreaming, but I think it would be really cool if we saw it. What do you guys think will happen in episode 12, and what do you guys think will happen to Hauser? Let me know down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash that like button for me, and subscribe for more awesome Star Wars content just like this. It's been Sheev. May the Force be with you always. Peace.